Francois.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I thank the Minister for his generous tribute to Sir David. Yes, Southend is now a city, so we comfort ourselves that on that at least he won in the end. We all miss him, not least myself. I welcome what the Minister has said about an inquiry into whether Essex Police could have done more to protect him. I welcome the Speaker's conference about MP security, Mom. I have great regard for the Minister, he knows this. But I'm afraid to hear that Prevent may have perhaps acted suboptimally is an appalling Whitehall euphemism for errors that may have contributed to the death of an MP in the line of duty. On Prevent specifically, as well as possible failures there, we know that the murderer in Southport had multiple interactions with Prevent, and yet still those 3 innocent children were tragically murdered. We've spent a fortune on Prevent, but it seems that ultimately it doesn't do what it says on the tin. So lastly, can I ask the Minister, as I understand it, the Amos family, rightfully seeking answers, have asked if the errors that may have occurred with Sir David and almost certainly occurred in Southport could somehow be looked into in more detail via the auspices of the Southport inquiry. That seems a very reasonable request given the exceptional circumstances. Could the Minister and the Home Secretary, who's in her place rightfully beside him, consider that request very seriously and hopefully grant it?
I'm very grateful to the Right Honourable Gentleman. It's hard, perhaps particularly for newer members, to understand how difficult it must be for those more experienced members like himself who spent so many years on these green benches working so closely with a much beloved colleague. I know that, and looking at him and his direction, he's sat below another shield. And members across the House, I think, understand that the pain that is experienced at the loss of our colleagues and our shared determination to work together and with others to do everything that we possibly can to make sure that those who serve currently in this House have the support and the protections that they both need and deserve. He rightly took the opportunity to reference one of Sir David's many achievements, which is the city status of Southend. We all know that certainly wouldn't have happened without the campaigning effort over many years of Sir David. And I'm grateful to him for acknowledging the work that I know that will be taking place with Essex Police. And I do understand the important concerns that he has made with regard to Prevent. What I can say to him is that the terms of reference with regard to the Southport inquiry are still rightly a matter of discussion between the Home Secretary, the Home Office and the families in that particular case. So I'm not able to make a judgment at this particular point about precisely the terms and conditions of the remit of that particular public inquiry. But what I can do is not only reiterate the point that have already been made, but a further commitment from the Home Secretary and from myself to look very carefully at this, to continue the conversation with the late Sir David's family and with other members and work out what is the best mechanism to provide them and all members of this House with the answers that they both want and deserve.
See you later, lads.